This cocoa means 100% organic, natural.
In craft chocolate, which is made from pine flavor cacao, which is what we're trying to produce.
Hello and welcome to ThePrint. I'm Manam Karkhana and I'm here in an incredible cacao farm in Ganganagodam in Western Godavari in Andhra Pradesh. About 40% of India's cacao comes from here. This is the cacao fruit that goes on to become chocolate. There's a new chocolate revolution brewing in India. It's the perfect mix of farming, fermentation and fast tech. And at the center of this is Hyderabad's Manam Chocolate. Coinciding at a time when global shortage of cocoa beans have sent cocoa prices through the roof, this chocolate company has been carefully honing its art, ready to show the world what Indian chocolate can be like. And Manam aims to put India on the global chocolate map. In this supply chain, chocolate travels from bean to bar. In fact, the process starts before the bean is grown in the farms of Western Godavari, helmed by Manam's parent company, Distinct Origins, and ends at Manam Karkhana in Hyderabad, where it is turned into chocolate bars, bonbons, truffles, pastries, cakes, croissants, you name it.
Distinct Origins is a company that focuses on a mission to build a reputation for Indian cacao. So our objective there is to build a business model that allows for us to undo the poor reputation that Indian cacao has carried in the fine flavor cacao world and start building a new reputation for Indian cacao in the craft chocolate world. So we want craft chocolate makers globally to use our cacao and make great world-class chocolate. The problem that we've identified and the problem that we're trying to solve is that Indian cacao is largely industrial in its genetic origin. Cacao was brought to India very recently, about 60 or 70 years ago, brought by industrial players for industrial purposes. So the genetics of Indian cacao are optimized for industrial purposes, which are productivity. These genetics are focused on disease resistance, yields per acre, fat content in the bean, but never flavor and complexity, because industrial chocolate relies on industrial process and additives for flavor. They alkalize these beans with alkalizing agents and induce the flavor back through additives and process. In craft chocolate, which is made from pine flavor cacao, which is what we're trying to produce, we optimize for flavor and complexity of flavor that the bean has to offer and try to make chocolate that can express that complexity and flavor without adding anything to lend its flavor to that chocolate. So Distinct Origins has tried to solve that problem of poor genetic origin of Indian cacao through science and technology, where we built this very large fermentary and built a lot of proprietary technology that starts with software that's blockchain enabled, but also a lot of fermentation and drying technology that allows us to compensate for the lack of fine flavor genetics in Indian cacao and allow us to ferment and dry and conduct post-harvest processing in a way to elevate this product, to generate more value from it, that ultimately allows us to satisfy our mission of pooling profits better to farmers.
Here's how the magic happens. All chocolate comes from the same kind of plant, the cacao plant.
This cocoa means 100% organic, natural. So these parts, my fruits, beans, separately we are making chocolate. That chocolate is very, very tasty. The difference between chemical farming and organic farming. Chemical farming is a normal. Organic farming or natural farming, cocoa beans, very tasty, very flavor, very good. That is the difference, organic and chemical. And also recently 3 years back, I interested to join in DOPL also. DOPL means Distinct Origins Private Limited in our company. In this farm, agriculture farm is a 12 acres, but not only organic. Since 10 years onwards, I don't use even 1 gram chemical chemical manure, and also no used weed control, pest control also I am not using. Everything in natural cow urine spraying, lemon oil spraying, just like.
The farmers are intimately involved in the process. In the conventional method, farmers harvest, ferment, and dry the beans and then sell the beans to traders who sell en masse to the Cadburys of the world. World over, chocolate makers buy these dried beans. But in this supply chain, farmers are encouraged to invest and care for their beans and harvest and sell to distinct origins because they buy fruit, not beans. Distinct Origins works with around 150 farmers spread across 3,000 acres of Western Godavari in Andhra Pradesh. They're all mostly organic farmers and their only job is to grow a clean, healthy fruit. Once the fruit is harvested, it is then transported to Distinct Origins factory in Andhra Pradesh. Unlike the conventional method, here women break open the cacao pods with wooden battens so as not to disturb the fruit. Then they carefully separate each bean and collect them. The next step is fermentation. Each step of the fermentation process is carefully monitored. A dedicated team of male workers are regularly measuring core temperatures of the fermentation boxes inside the factory and studying parameters like sugar and acidity constantly, because the heat generated from various stages of the fermentation process affects the complexity of the bean. The fermented beans are then laid out to dry in the sun in a system developed to allow the bean to dry as slowly as possible. One of the reasons why Indian cacao is written off is because beans dry unevenly in the harsh sun, making it acrid and acidic, something Distinct Origins is careful to avoid.
మనం కాయలు కూడా ఎలా కొంటామంటే రైతు దగ్గర మనకు 100 మంది ఫార్మర్స్ ఉన్నారు. మాకు 100 మంది ఫార్మర్స్ దగ్గర కూడా ఇలాగా మంచి పొండు వచ్చిన కాయలు మాత్రమే, ఇలా కాదు, ఇది పొండు కాదండి, ఫుల్ రైపనింగ్ పార్ట్స్ మాత్రమే కొంటాం. ఎందుకంటే ట్రేడర్స్ కానీ బయర్స్ కానీ క్యాడ్బరీస్, సమ్ మాండలీస్ కంపెనీస్, ఎవ్రీ బీన్ దే ఆర్ పర్చేజ్డ్. బట్ మేము మాత్రం అన్ని బీన్స్ని తీసుకోండి, మంచి సెలెక్టివ్ పార్ట్స్నే తీసుకుంటాం. కాయ పండిన తర్వాత మాత్రమే మనం తీసుకుంటాం. మాన్యువల్గా కట్ చేసి ఫర్మెంటేషను 9 days 10 days చేసి, డ్రైయింగ్ కూడా 10 days చేసి, వెరీ ఫైన్ కోకోవా బీన్స్ మేము తయారు చేస్తాం. వెరీ ఫైన్ కోకోవా బీన్స్ తయారైన తర్వాత ఈ బీన్స్ని సార్టింగ్ చేస్తాం, గ్రేడింగ్ చేస్తాం. CO2 ట్రీట్మెంట్ అంటే కార్బన్ డైఆక్సైడ్ కొంచెం పంపించి దాంట్లో ఉన్న ఇన్సెక్ట్స్ని కూడా చంపేసేసి ఆ ఫైన్ కోకోవా బీన్స్, చెప్పాలంటే ఇండియాలో ఫైన్ కోకోవా బీన్స్ తయారు చేసేది మన కంపెనీ మాత్రమే. ఈ ఫైన్ కోకోవా బీన్స్ని చాక్లెట్ బంజారా హిల్స్ రోడ్ నెంబర్ 12 మనం పేరు మీద మనం తయారు చేస్తామండి.
And this is where the bean becomes a bar at the Manam Karkhana in Hyderabad.
Other half of the business is the consumer-facing half of the business, where we at Manam Chocolate we've tried to interpret what we think craft chocolate should be, and because we're Indians and we're from India, we do it from an Indian's perspective, where we've tried to create, understand what our associations with chocolate as Indians are, without being reductionist of our own self-conception of ourselves as Indians into kesar or elaichi or badam, but really acknowledge that we are complex social beings, that we have aspirational tastes now, we're well-traveled, and we've tried to find these associations and we build a product mix that reflects that. So we make about 40 different base chocolates, but we make 300 different products from those chocolates that spreads over 50 different categories, ranging from gifting to core chocolate categories like bonbons and truffles and barks and bars or tablets, to chocolate as an ingredient where we have cakes, pastries, venoiseries, muffins, cupcakes, chocolate and gelato, chocolate and soft serve, chocolate as a beverage, both hot and cold. It's about creating this world where we can express the versatility of this ingredient and create this awe around what all chocolate can be, but from the perspective of ourselves as an Indian. So we position ourselves as Indian craft chocolate, that this is chocolate from India, and encourage people to look at it, or encourage the world to look at it the way we've been looking at Belgian, Swiss, or French chocolate.
The beans are first roasted and winnowed before being ground down and tempered. Then the cocoa fat is collected, after which the chocolate moves onto the ball mill. The chocolate is then ready to be crafted into a variety of delicious confections. But the most important thing that Distinct Oranges and Manam wants people to remember is that this is Indian chocolate, made from Indian cacao.
A very convenient reminder of a vestigial past, of an inseparability between cacao and colonialism and cacao and slavery. That the narrative can be reshaped to countries where cacao grows, this is a product that has historically never been consumed in the place that it's grown. The colony grew it and the colonizer consumed it. We're trying to reshape that model. We're trying to create a confluence of fine premium luxury and craft chocolate. And we think we're poised to be successful not in spite of being in India, but because of it. That we have this perfect storm of upward mobility, retail, aspirational customers, and this yearn in urban India for new experiences. That we can interpret this category for ourselves as Indians, but also go outside India and present it to the world as chocolate from India, and encourage them to appreciate chocolate the way we appreciate it, which we are trying to interpret now and try to understand what is it in this category or with this ingredient that we as Indians like.
It's why Manam's chocolates can directly be traced back to not just the farmer and his farm, but the exact tree and its bean. And their mission is to foreground the Indian labor that went into making this craft chocolate, like Venkateshwara Rao.
As a farmer guy, 100% I feel very happy and very, very satisfied. In my life, I have 63 సంవత్సరాలండి నాకు 63 years my age is. The complete 63 years I have more interest on the agriculture, farming sector. He is asking to me to join our company, means that is also one interest, one good product, good person, ఒక మంచి మనిషికి, ఒక మంచి ప్రోడక్ట్కి, ఒక సొసైటీకి ఆ మంచి ప్రోడక్ట్ ఇచ్చే వాళ్ళతో కలిస్తే నాకు సంతోషం అన్న ఉద్దేశంతో ఐ యామ్ జాయినింగ్ దట్ గ్రూప్.
This is Vandana reporting from Andhra Pradesh for ThePrint.